You're listening to the Fun Never Ends podcast with Metalhead Nelson.
Brutal Brit. Hey, welcome to the Fun Never Ends podcast. I am Metalhead Nelson, and with me is my co-host Brutal Brett. Brutal Brett, how you doing?
Doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. Hanging in there.
It's been quite warm this week. I'm not used to it anymore.
Hey, SoCal summer now.
I know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm someone who likes to just wear jackets and pants year-round, so when it gets to be 90 out, I'm like, what do I do?
Dude, I'm the other way around. I've got cut-off sleeves and shorts and the whole 9 yards, man.
I think you pulled off better, though, just because you have more of the thrash metal aesthetic to you, where, you know, it's just the long hair, the cut off everything.
Oh, yeah.
All that,
or,
you know, it worked well.
Or as James Hetfield would say, oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! Ooh, yeah! So before...
Ooh, give me five!
Ooh, give me five! Give me 1,000 times! Ooh, do. Yeah, that was Metallica, featuring us. We were talking about little Metallica before we started this. We were actually talking about, okay, Metallica fans might hate it. I grew up listening to it because it was one of those that was released. Saint Anger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for me, I listened to that album beginning to end. I bought that album with my hard-earned money. I actually enjoyed the fuck out of it. I remember watching the video on VH1 and remember seeing them, oh, they're in a prison. They had to sign their life away to play in that prison. And I remember that that contract is said, oh, if you were to get attacked, killed, or whatever, they're not liable. I remember seeing that video, and I was like, whoa. I bought the CD. I enjoyed the hell out of it. What about you, Brett?
For me, I grew up with it as well, but it was one of those things where I listened to it, but it didn't hit until years after when it became more of a joke. And I think, like 2012 onward, it's become an album that I keep going back to and realizing that it has more replayability than I thought. I took the time while you were doing that monologue to just look up the track listing and try to think of what songs I actually will keep playing over and over again and what songs have harder riffs than we even thought. Like opening with Frantic into Saint Anger, Some Kind of Monster.
Some
great.
kind of monster. Tick, tick,
The
tick,
unnamed-
tock, Frantic, tick, tick, tick.
The Unnamed Feeling, My World, great. And I think what really people don't understand is that it's a 75-minute album. Within that, there has to be something for everyone. It's not all terrible garbage can drums. There's heavy riffs. There's lyrics that, even if they are pretty gimmicky, are still pretty decent.
Yeah, I have to agree on that, because I remember listening to this album thinking, this is heavy. I mean, not that all the other stuff wasn't heavy. This is a little bit different from all that, but still, when you're, in high school, and you get your hands on a new Metallica record that is Saint Anger, you're gonna enjoy the fuck out of it. It came out in 2003. I was just in my freshman year of high school, so I enjoyed the fuck out of that album. I had my CD player and the CD right at the pool, blasting Saint Anger, blasting Frantic, Some Kind of Monster, and just letting the album play. Honestly, I don't think I really got past Some Kind of Monster because those are the only three tracks that I really enjoyed.
My World is pretty good too. I'm trying to think like what song actually has like the good lyrics. And you're right, the first three actually have lyrics that matter, because My World has terrible lyrics like, it's my world, you can't have it, it's my world, you can't have it, sucker.
And Saint Anger was the what the hell do they call it? The single off of this record. Well, it is a title track of this album.
Well, you know what? Fuck it all, no regrets. I hit the lights on these dark streets. Saint Anger around my neck.
Medallion noose to hang myself. Saint Anger around my neck. Yeah,
my lifestyle determines my death style. I think the reason why it's so contentious is because people, you can't. Okay, can you take this album seriously, or is it more of a like performance art piece now, if you will? Because we have the documentary to accompany it,
which is the documentary Some Kind of Monster, which was more in depth about James Hetfield's rehab.
That's true too. With him now being straight edge, which is as someone who's been straight edge since I found out about it at 14, and just grew up in the straight edge punk and hardcore scene. James Hetfield, from the band that used to be called Alcoholica to straight edge, I don't know. I would much rather. I have the same opinion with Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, where I believe that these people work best when they're incredibly fucked up.
There are people that work better fucked up. So if from what I recall, when Ronnie James Dio died and they had the Sonosphere kind of tribute to Ronnie James Dio, I remember Scott Ian was saying the time that he met Ronnie James Dio, and he was asking him if he had some like pre-show rituals to get ready for a show, and he said, I'd smoke a joint and drink half a beer.
That sounds about right.
And then I think Dave Mustaine of Megadeth was talking to him about something, and Ronnie goes, "Are we going to just jerk each other off, or you want to go smoke a joint?"
Well, that's another question. Do you think that as Dave Mustaine got more tame as well, do you think that Megadeth has gone more not as wild as well?
I think, honestly, I feel like the band's gotten, well, I wouldn't say better. They are one of my favorite thrash bands out of the big four.
Oh, yeah.
Megadeth is my favorite. I love the lineups that they've had. Just the personnel alone. I mean, come on. Marty Friedman and Chris Poland, and then you got Chris Broderick. Now you've got shit. I'm drawing blanks here.
I wouldn't be able to help you anymore. Revolving bases now is what I say.
Al Pitrelli. Al Pitrelli was also a guitar player for King Diamond, and he is the guitar player and musical director of the West Coast version of Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Shit. I will say though, musically, Megadeth has incredibly gone tighter. Lyrically, is it still as edgy as their early stuff? Is I guess what I'm getting at.
I would say yes, because I've listened to their albums, when United Abominations came out. That was a good album. Endgame was also a good album as well. Comparing to the older albums, yeah, you're gonna have a bit of differentiality with it, but come on, you listen to the riffs, the solos, the lyrics. They kick ass. And going back to the current guitar player is Kiko LaRue.
I will say, as I said, I would say it's gone heavier in regards to tone and in regards to the sense of song structure as well. I mean, they now are touring with, or they recently did a tour with Hatebreed and Lamb of God not too long ago.
That tour is actually coming back.
Ooh.
Let me see. While I'm here, while it loads.
Because that's what I'm talking about. The fact that, from thrash to touring with I would consider Hatebreed kind of thrashy, but I mean, they grew out of the hardcore roots. Same with Lamb of God.
But you think about it,
the hardcore roots.
It would be a way for them to take them out on tour. So
true.
I think a Hatebreed meshes well.
100%.
That's a good lineup for sure. And let's see, but this tour doesn't have Hatebreed. It's Megadeth and Lamb of God with Trivia Men in Flames. And the first show back is actually April 9th at the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas. Tickets are on sale and VIP, and then they're off to Tucson, Arizona, which is funny. Tucson, Arizona, that's Scottsdale. Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't former Megadeth bassist David Ellefson from Tucson? Nope, he's from Scottsdale.
Oh, that whole situation was pretty funny as well. Or not funny, but just off the cuff.
Yeah. I've met David Ellefson numerous times. Nice guy. Same with Dave Mustaine. Marty Friedman as well. And Chris Broderick.
I'm interested to actually hear what your ranking of the big four is now. Since you already said you're first. Yeah.
Number one has to be Megadeth for me. I will throw Anthrax at the bottom of the big four. And I'll tell you why. I seen them the first time I saw them was when Iron Maiden had their Somewhere Back in Time tour. I want to say 2011. I could be wrong. And don't bitch at me about the year because I'm trying to remember when they had the Somewhere Back in Time tour. And they had Anthrax, and Joey Belladonna wasn't in the band at that time, and it was Dan Nelson. I go, great show. And then I go experience the show with Joey Belladonna. They played at what the fuck? Now I'm drawing blanks. It was also opening for Iron Maiden. It was the Seventh Son tour that they did over at San Bernardino Glen Helen Pavilion. Okay, Megadeth was on the show as well. I don't know why, but Anthrax kind of bored the shit out of me at that point. I'm like, halfway through the set, I'm fine. I mean, they did a tribute to Ronnie, doing Heaven and Hell, and doing their stuff. I could only listen to Megadeth. I mean, not Megadeth, Anthrax for so long, and then I got bored. Slayer is, I'll put them number 3. And
Interesting.
Then Metallica would be second. I want to hear about your placement of your big 4.
Slayer, just because growing up, I grew up in the God Hates Us All era. The fact that they were very prominent sound-wise in, the metalcore bands that I grew up with at the time, where many would take Slayer riffs and just add more chugging parts to it, especially, they would steal the opening to Mandatory Suicide, and that's most metalcore songs. So Slayer, just because South of Heaven, God Hates Us All, everything backwards.
South of Heaven was my first Slayer record.
What was it?
South of Heaven. Yeah.
I think it's a perfect record. That and Seasons in the Abyss.
Yep.
Flawless albums. Like, I can listen to it. There's never a time in which there's not an appropriate time to listen to those.
No.
Pissed off? Listen to it. Depressed? Listen to it. Want to chill? Listen to it. Stuck in traffic? Listen to it. Working? Listen to it.
When you're stuck in traffic, you're listening to Disciple, and you're like, God hates us all.
God hates us all.
I remember watching, Metal Headbanger's Journey, and I remember the guy was asking Tom, it's like, just about that, and he's like, God doesn't hate us, but it's a great fucking title.
Yeah, as I tell people, Tom Araya is a Christian.
I thought he was raised Catholic.
Or something.
Yeah, he was raised Catholic.
Yeah, he's religious. They just did that because they thought it was cool.
Oh yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, come on, it sells.
100%, and it's fucking cool.
It is fucking cool.
So Slayer, then Metallica because Creeping Death, then you get Kill 'Em All.
Creeping Death.
Then you get Master of Puppets, and then you get shit.
One?
Yeah, shit like that. Blackened. So I have a huge collection of both Slayer and Metallica cassettes, including singles, because I'm a nerd like that. Then I would say Megadeth, and then Anthrax, just because I don't think Anthrax has enough tracks.
I feel like
Caught in a Mosh. I like SOD and MOD more than anything Anthrax has done. Give me SOD, I can listen to all the time. It's just cheesy, it's funny, it's goofy. Anthrax, Caught in a Mosh, and I'm good.
I like I Am the Law and stuff like AIR. You can only listen to, Got the Time so many times, to be honest, before you're sick of it. Got time, tick it in my head, tick it in my head.
This spawns another
Antisocial.
question now. SOD or Anthrax?
I can't really say because I never really listened. Well, SOD is... Okay, you're
Stormtroopers of Death.
Okay, I haven't listened to them, so I can't really do a comparison, but I will for the next episode. And I'll
they're incredibly up your alley.
And I'll give you my point of view on Anthrax and or SOD.
They have a song called Anti-Procrastination Song, which is just literally Anti-Procrastination Song! And that's it.
That's it.
I will say if they were around in this era, they would be canceled easily because their album is called Speak English or Die.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I wouldn't fly in this generation.
No, but they were being tongue-in-cheek, where I feel like nowadays there aren't many bands that are able to do a tongue-in-cheek, somewhat like conservative take like that.
You can't do it in this day and age. You get trampled.
And that's another topic for another day, which is the fact that people say that because we've been so focused on cancel culture lately, they think that there's going to be a shift where we just don't care anymore.
Yeah, people think that, but,
It's not going to happen. People are just always going to want to attack others.
Oh, yeah. Anything they can find. The littlest thing people can find to attack you or something or someone or anything, they'll do it. Why?
Yeah.
Because they get a kick out of it, and then they like to stir the pot. People love to stir the pot.
That's really all it is. Now that there's a public platform in which people can just do this and, get gratification for it, it's not going to just stop because it's out of vogue. It's still going to happen.
Yeah, so, people love stirring the pot. I love to stir the pot when it's full of something like noodles and soup and all that fun stuff.
Exactly. I think I was a person who used to be an edgelord back in the day, but I grew up on 4chan and stuff like that, in which, being an edgy internet person was a quote-unquote personality, if you will.
Yeah, I get that.
So I used to get into internet fights with people, even if I agreed with them, just to be contrarian. So
just to go and fuck with people.
100%. And if I have any message for people, it's don't do that. It's not worth it.
I take it that you've had your share of being fucked with after fucking with someone.
It bites you in the ass afterwards, and
the whole karma
however
thing, right?
much you mature, people won't really give you the validation for that. They'll be like, "Oh, you're the person who did that," back in the day.
It's like, "Oh yeah, I did it, yeah."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
I do remember something I was gonna say. There's a website called TomAriahScream.com. So if you ever need a pick me up, it's just him doing the.
Is it his Angel of Death scream?
Oh, 100%.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
There should be James Hetfield, as well as a website, so you can play them in tandem.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, if they did, because you think about E-Bomb's world, back in the day when you can do like the whole Schwarzenegger soundboard. Hey, who is your daddy and what does he do? I'm Detective John Gibble. I wake up, you idiot.
Did you know of the Timbaland Beasis band Austrian Death Machine?
Of course. It's all Arnold quotes and like the little punchlines. I used to listen to Austrian Death Machine and I got turned on to it by a former coworker of mine. So, I was like, oh, this is badass.
It just hasn't aged well due to Timbaland Beasis as a person.
Why is
that? Death Machine. Yeah, that pun wrote itself.
Yeah, it did. It did all right. So, but hey, it worked well.
Oh, 100%. And the thing is, he's not a bad vocalist, and he's a great musician. Just he let the roids get to him.
Once you let the juice get to you or whatever, then yeah, good luck. Hey, good luck.
As many will say nowadays, he got lost in the sauce.
You got lost in the juice.
Barbecue.
So
well, you can say he has a lot in common with the juice. If that juice is OJ.
Oh God. My God, dude.
Let's just do album reviews because before I say anything else that's grown worthy.
Before anything, what was it? Last week, if this is, the 14th, Scott Hall, also known as Razor Ramon in wrestling, has passed away. Just wanted to say, rest in peace, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. You're a Hall of Famer, and we'll miss you.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. indeed. So.
I do have music news that involves a band that was great in the 90s.
Have at it.
That is coming to Ontario, California. The vocalist name is Durst. Fred Durst. That band is Limp Bizkit.
Chocolate Starfish.
And they are coming to Ontario, California.
Toyota Arena.
This May with Dying Wish, which is a metallic hardcore band, very at the gates worship, and Scowl, another female-fronted hardcore band, more like Negative Approach, or I guess just more faster hardcore punk.
Right
that
on.
Same tour is also playing Madison Square Garden.
Add a little bit of MSG to your MSG?
Are Limp Bizkit even that big to quantify playing Madison Square Garden anymore?
I don't know. But if they're able to sell that whole arena, maybe. But I don't
That's
know.
the thing. Because it's with hardcore bands as their support, like just a bunch of random. I won't say random because they are bands that I know of, which were people who I was acquainted with in the hardcore scene opening the show. It's not like them being opened up or by Kid Rock or anything of the equivalents from the 90s. It's hardcore bands, so it's weird that a tour package like that is playing Madison Square Garden when the main draw is Limp Bizkit and that's it.
I don't know how that's going to be well perceived. I don't know that many Limp Bizkit fans.
That's 100% my thing.
So who knows how that will do? I don't know.
Would I go and see that tour in Ontario? Possibly.
It's a AXS event. Hold on, more info.
If it's cheap enough, I'll go.
Orgasm UK.
That band is pretty good.
Let's see. Go to info.
Dying Wish, Scowl, and I think Young Garvey or something like that.
Let's see. Trying to get more info, but so far, let me see. Oh,
If it's $30.
So, tickets have not gone on sale. It looks like, they are on sale now. Let's see. But I'm trying to figure this out. More info. It's kind of hard to get this right directly from like the website on your phone. So it's not giving me jack shit. It's not even letting me click on ticket link or info. It's not letting me do jack crap. This website sucks.
I will say I listened to the Limp Bizkit album, the one from was it this current year or this past year? Mm-hmm. I think it's too self-aware of itself now, as in like Fred Durst and Wes Borland are in on their own joke and notoriety.
I can't say I actually dabble. I can't say I dabbled in it because I didn't.
I don't know if it has merit to replay, but it's definitely worth at least one listen.
I'll stick to what I know.
I will say it's interesting that every band in which they've toured with recently has been female fronted, as if Wes and Fred are trying to do like revisionist history for the events that took place at Woodstock 99. Which it took place at Woodstock 99 during their set, right?
I do not. If I'm not wrong, Woodstock 99. I'm thinking of a little other one. Didn't Metallica play Woodstock 99?
It was Metallica, Kid Rock, Limp Bizkit. I'll just get to the moral of it. Riots, rape, a bunch of overdoses. That's what took place at Woodstock 99. So it's notorious, especially during their set in which Fred Durst really instigated the crowd.
Interesting. They get Fred Durst gets the crowd rolling, if you catch my drift.
God damn it. But just the fact that, it's 23 years almost since Woodstock 99. So I guess that shows growth of a person. Just, is it him trying to rectify that, or is it them actually liking the bands that they're taking on tour now?
I don't know, but a lot of people left with a fat lip last night. So many lyrics that can...
you can say he did it. He's doing this for the nookie.
Yeah. Just one more fight about your leadership. This time I'm gonna let it all come out.
It's my way, my way,
the highway. The one reason why I got into Limp Bizkit for just a couple songs, because of WWE using the Undertaker using Rollin', and then they used My Way for Stone Cold versus The Rock at WrestleMania, whatever it was, with the montage, which was, I think it was a Dallas show. It was a Texas show. I remember that.
And then now it's, let's see.
So
I do have one question, though.
Yes.
Are you a fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Hell yeah, I am. John Frusciante.
Because then I'm going to send you a video that breaks down Danny California, and you'll realize it's a lot more disappointing than you thought.
Okay.
As in, they take it pretty much as Last Dance with Mary Jane by Tom Petty.
Okay. This sounds weird because I remember hearing on the radio somebody did kind of like a what the hell is it? It's pretty much like they took one of Tom Petty's songs. I think it was Free Fallin' or something, but they used it to their own song. And it has that same melody of Free Fallin'. And I remember it having airplay, and I'm like, that's Tom Petty. That's not what it's supposed to be. So,
oh yeah, they've done this multiple times apparently.
And it wasn't the Chili Peppers, it was somebody else. Who? I don't know, but I'm like, that's Free Fallin'.
It's okay. Three Doors Down just did Crazy Train in Reverse for Kryptonite.
If I go crazy, will you still call me Superman?
It's Crazy Train in Reverse. The 90s were a hell of a time in which you can just take songs and just be like, yeah, but what if we did it this way? They play on the 5th fret. Let's play the same song on the 6th fret.
Nobody will know the difference. Hey, we got a hit. Oh, yeah.
It's working.
I guess so. I got a bit of amusing news myself. All you Michael Schenker fans out there, I've got 2 things for you, especially if you're in the UK, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, France, Spain, and Italy. Michael Schenker, this is coming off of Michael Schenker's Facebook. He wrote this on the 16th. To all rock and roll fans out there, the great Robin McAuley will handle vocal duties on upcoming MSG shows starting on the 27th of April this year. Michael Schenker and the band can't wait to see you and everyone live again and rock the stage after such a long time. See you soon. Here is the lineup for the show. Robin McAuley on vocals, Michael Schenker on the guitar, Baldo is on drums, Steve Mann is on keys and guitar, and Barend, I can't repeat that last name. I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher it. Same with Baldo's last name. And that is your lineup for those European shows. So that kicks off the 27th of April and it goes on until the 15th of May, where they end in Rome. And then for us US show, this is the 50th anniversary Universal World Tour 2022 to celebrate the latest MSG title album Universal. They will be on tour this fall in the US. MSG lineup will be Michael Schenker, lead guitar, Ronnie Romero on vocals, Steve Mann on guitar, Baldo is on drums, and Barend is on bass. This tour also has special guests Eric Martin from Mr. Big, the voice of Mr. Big, anyway, and a band called Images of Eden. They will kick off the first show in San Juan Capistrano at the Coach House September 27th, and they will play LA at the Saban Theater on it would be the 1st of October. Sorry, I blanked out for a bit. You can go and you can check this out. They have all dates up to the 27th of October, and then they have 2 other dates with Images of Eden, Damon Johnson, and the Get Ready, and then they do a little tour with Wasp and Armor Saint. So go to Michael Schenker Facebook, Instagram, and follow them for more updates.
That last word is going to be something now, isn't it?
Yeah, Wasp kicks off the 29th of October. It's a Saturday in Anaheim at the Grove of Anaheim, which is a sold-out show. So, but it won't have Michael Schenker on that show. They're going to be in Texas with Michael Schenker.
2 days before Halloween, too, so you know people are going to be dressing up for that there as well.
Yeah, just don't expect any raw meat being thrown into the audience.
You never know. I've seen that at black metal shows at least, and I guess it's raw meat, blood, and skulls.
That is actually pretty badass.
I'll try to pull up the video from that.
Okay.
It was a few bands did that. One of which being Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
No, Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang?
Wu-Tang, yeah.
Is that a play on the band, the group name?
No, it's Watain.
Okay. I was just making sure here.
Not Wu-Tang. It's not the New York rap group with Jizza, RZA, and ODB. It is. Where's Wu-Tang from? I believe they're European, but I could be wrong. Let's see.
I'm gonna say they're Norwegian.
That's the easiest way to go, especially in regards to black metal. Let's see if I can spell. Why is there a W?
We've got actually
Swedish.
They're Swedish. They're Swedish black metal band. All right.
But great band. They'd be up your alley. Very thrashy.
I'll have to give them a listen.
Another one of those bands I listen to just while getting work done.
Also, I'll have to send you that melodic death metal band. I'll send it to you. They're a local band. I don't think they're together anymore. Friends of mine, they were called Infinite Death. They were a local band. I'll have to send it to you and you can listen for yourself.
That sounds pretty familiar. I'm not sure if I've seen them or if it's just they were on flyers for shows.
They were on flyers for shows. I mean, they did play Thrasho de Mayo at the Vex one year at the outdoor stage. I remember that show. The Witch Haven showed up to play that show after Speedwolf brought him up. Speedwolf was from Detroit. Fueled by Fire played that night. Morbid Saint played that night. It was a lot of good bands.
Didn't go to that, but I remember seeing it.
It was a packed night and day. It was hot, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, new Dark Funeral came out. Another thing I need to listen to.
Yeah, I got to listen to Dark Funeral as well. So, hey, we got a couple things new that we're doing. We're going to be doing album reviews. Whatever our favorite album is and favorite albums, rather if either they be new or old or whatnot, we're going to be doing some album reviews. And hopefully after doing some album reviews, you can pick it up and check it out for yourself and let us know what you think of the album. So I believe, would you like to go first, Brett?
Sure. I'm going to start off with one that's not in the realm of metal or even rock, I would say. This is Blade and Echo 2K of the Drain Gang. They are a Swedish collective of, I guess, rap and hyperpop. The best way to describe their album Crest that came out last Friday is by saying that it sounds like a grouping of underwater Mario levels with some very auto-tuned vocals over it, somewhat reminiscent of like listening to a combination of Heaven or Las Vegas by Cocteau Twins mixed with, as I said, Mario underwater music. Pitchfork, if for any credit, gave it an 8 out of 10. So if that means anything to you, it's very much a turn of the millennium rave culture type of music in which it's video game-esque. It's lyrics that are borderline emo at times, very contemplative. How can I really describe this? It's a fun listen because you don't really need to take in much. You listen to it and it has a more atmospheric type quality in which what I draw upon shoegaze for. And while the collective Drain Gang is definitely more known for their hip-hop type of musicality with members like Young Sherman, Blade from before, Slow Tie, Young Lean, this is more on that hyper-pop element, which is more like 100 Gex and things like that. I definitely recommend it, but I don't really know what else to say about it. It's not entirely dissimilar from Carly Rae Jepsen or anything like that at the same time, and can even be in the same vein as Charlie XCX, who just had dropped an album as well. But I'll pass the baton back to you, Nelson.
All right. Thank you for that review, and I hope that everybody that would be interested check out that band, that album. Okay, so mine is Heavy Crown by Last in Line. This is Last in Line's first album that came out in 2016. They were formed back in 2012. Last in Line is pretty much Ronnie James Dio's band from when they recorded everything up to the Last in Line album. Personnel features Vinny Appice on drums, the late great Jimmy Bain on bass, Vivian Campbell, who is part of Def Leppard as well and was at one point part of Whitesnake, and Andrew Freeman, my buddy, who was also in The Offspring for a bit, and a band called 30 Stones back in New York. This album is pretty kick-ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. The first time I listened to the first release, it was Devil and Me, came out in 2015. Very slow, kind of riffy intro that Vivian Campbell gives, and it kicks off with you hear the pounding of Vinny's drums and then the blaring vocals of Andrew. Eric Norlander is also part of this. He plays keys on some of this album. I think he was on tour. I don't really recall recall if he was on the album. I think he was. He's gonna kill me for not knowing. This album alone, if you like very riffy and very melodic rock, you're gonna love this. I mean, Andrew Freeman is probably one of those ones that can sing these songs and still have the Ronnie James Dio feel without being Ronnie James Dio. You know, it's still they're being their own band. Yes, when they tour, you do hear all this stuff from the beginning of Dio to up to the Last in Line record. So honestly, I listened to this album over and over on repeat. Track 1, Devil in Me. Track 2, Martyr, has a kick-ass intro to it. Just the ripping beats of Vinny Appice's drums. You hear that snare crack. Star Maker, another very like slow start, kind of very riffy. Vivian Campbell and Jimmy Bain. Burn This House Down is another kick-ass track. I Am Revolution. That one is pretty upbeat. So is Martyr. Martyr was a very upbeat song as well. Blame It On Me was a kick-ass song, very cool. And In Flames, Already Dead. Curse the Day. Curse the Day is probably one of my favorites, along with Orange Glow. Heavy Crown, the title track, that is one of my all-time favorite tracks on this album. It's a slow build, and then the chorus just punches you right in the face. And then the last song, The Sickness, the guitar solo that Vivian Campbell kicks off in this song is badass. Just the riffs alone on this song, if you want to check it out, or even buy the album. I really enjoy it. There's no bad song on this album. I would go and buy it again, but I would definitely recommend it. Touring wise, at a certain point, it went from after Jimmy Bain had passed away, Phil Soussan, who was a bassist for Billy Idol, along with he also co-wrote Shot in the Dark with Ozzy, is on the following Last in Line album. He's the permanent bass player at this point, so they're on the road. Go catch him. Last in Line. So that's my review of the album. So go and check it out. Last in Line, Heavy Crown is also Last in Line 2. You can check that out as well.
I do have another album, if that's okay. It's
Absolutely.
More in the metal realm, I would say. This is the album is Act of God by Immolation. It came out on February 18th of this year, and I would say that it is definitely one of the more darker albums by Immolation as of recently. Their last album being Atonement in 2017, which I wasn't overly a fan of. I would say that this definitely has darker elements. It's more heavy hitting. The tone is amazing. The darker parts incredibly darker. The parts where it's just very building or more brooding, if you will. Songs like The Age of No Light definitely take more of a turn that add those elements of crescendos in death metal, as well as just solos that really show the great musicianship. I mean, from the band that did Dawn of Possession in 91, Here and After in 96, and especially the classic from 2005, Harnessing Ruin, Acts of God definitely lives up to that. I would say that this has some of the best drumming as well, and it's become one of my death metal favorites for the year, even though the year is still early on. I think that has some of the greatest replay value, great album art, and is just up there with some of the best. I mean, as I said, Immolation are a classic 90s New York band, and I'm always skeptical when classic acts put out a new album, but they keep living up to their legacy.
Right on, man. Definitely one worth checking out for sure.
Have you heard anything off of it yet?
I have not, but I definitely will.
The tone on it alone is just worthy of praise.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out for sure. Hey, I got one last thing before I wrap it up. One more tour. Rob Zombie and Mudvayne embark in a Freaks on Parade tour this summer with Static X and Powerman 5000. They will be in Irvine, California, August 12th at 5 Point Amphitheater. If you're a fan of Rob Zombie, Mudvayne, Powerman 5000, and Static X, go get your tickets.
I'd probably see, I've seen Rob Zombie with the now canceled for life Marilyn Manson. I would definitely see Mudvayne.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see Mudvayne. I always wanted to see Rob Zombie.
He puts on a great show, and he plays a few White Zombie songs.
1960. Thunder Kiss, 1965.
That's definitely one of them that he plays. One of the greatest riffs.
One of my favorite albums from Rob Zombie has to be The Sinister Urge.
Oh, come on now. That is so, yeah.
I remember buying that album, listening to beginning and end. One, because Edge from WWE had it as his intro, as his entrance theme, and it hooked me on Rob Zombie ever since then. From that point on, Rob Zombie, I bought that album and I was hooked.
For me, I would say that it was definitely White Zombie stuff, and then House of a Thousand Corpses and stuff like that. Finding out that he and his wife are fellow vegans, and Hillbilly, just Dragula, Living Dead Girl, Super Beast. Those are just classics.
Oh yeah, and he's got his take on the Munsters. That Munsters film is coming out, and it's a Rob Zombie film.
He's very hit or miss, especially Halloween. That's a contentious film, especially his take.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I guess it just depends, really, on what it is. I mean, it's not everybody's going to perceive it as well. There's critics everywhere. I mean, everything's not perceived as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, what was the last of the Devil's Rejects movie that he did? Three from Hell. He turned that more into a comedy than it was the previous two. And I felt that was a good way to, ride off into the sunset with it.
I think that's what it needed. And he was the perfect man to do it.
I couldn't have said it any other way because I completely agree. I saw it in theaters and people were so confused that they were laughing at it. And I'm like, I think that's the point of this one.
Exactly. It's kind of like, okay, when you're growing up and you're a kid, you watch like movies like Child's Play. You're going to be freaked the fuck out that a fucking doll is going to come alive and try to kill you in your sleep. As you get older, you watch it. Hey, this is actually very comedic. And then you go into like Child Play 2 and Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, and you come to find out it's fucking comedy. There's more comedy than anything.
Well, I definitely agree with that. And I mean, this same could be said for movies like It, where it's scary if you really already find those things to be scary.
Yeah, if you're afraid of clowns, of course it's going to be scary.
I guess that can't really be said for Devil's Rejects or anything, because I don't know what would be scary about that or what really gave it the horror element other than being slasher.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I don't know. I love the Munsters, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I love the Munsters too, so I'm looking forward to it as well. I've got one more news. Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne are reportedly moving back to the UK to California's high tax rate. They said they'd come back if that gets resolved, but it looks like the Prince of Darkness and his wife are leaving LA and moving back to the UK. So
I hope it's not also because of his health, which is we've been seeing ups and downs lately as well.
Probably not. I mean, it is expensive to live in California, let alone LA.
That's true.
So he said he's taking his recording studio with him. He owns a plot of land, and he's going to build a barn where he's going to put his own studio. So he'll still be making music and still be having the band over as well. So meaning Zakk Wylde's going to have to travel overseas.
I hope to see him touring more again. That's my hope.
Well, let's see. Let's see how that goes. Maybe he'll be just doing, even if he does a new record and doesn't tour or does like couple shows here and there, that would still be pretty cool.
That's true. I've never seen him, unfortunately.
I haven't either.
I've had every chance to see Black Sabbath, and I was just like, oh, the last isn't the last. It never is. And
sure enough.
I need to stop telling myself that whenever I see that happening.
For me, I love Ozzy, but I really love Dio. So when I had the chance to see Heaven and Hell at the Metal Masters Tour in 2009 with Judas Priest, Testament, and Motorhead, I jumped on that. And that was the one and only time I got to see Ronnie James Dio in Heaven and Hell with Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Vinny Appice.
And I'm sure that definitely has more of a lasting value because of it.
That was one amazing show. I remember I went to go see Kiss the night before in Las Vegas at the Palms, the Pearl Concert Theater, and it was the Alive 35 tour. And then the next day going to see Metal Masters at Glen Helen Pavilion.
Oh man, you saw all the greats.
To when Paul Stanley still had his voice. That was the first Kiss show that Paul Stanley still had his voice that I saw, and it was in Las Vegas, General Mission floor, and I was like right there, right over in the. So it was General Mission floor. That was like the one time for a Kiss show that I would be General Mission floor.
I know that they played Dodger Stadium a few years ago, and I heard that was a great one as well.
1998, they played Dodger Stadium with the original lineup with Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. Smashing Pumpkins would open that show. That would be the Halloween show of 98.
Yeah, I wish I went that. I was about to be 7 or 8.
I wish I could have gone to that too. That was the Psycho Circus tour.
Kiss and Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins opened up the show, yep.
And that was for Smashing Pumpkins, too.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. We're living in a different time. Now we have Machine Gun Kelly as the harbinger of rock music.
I don't see that at all.
Yeah, I was being rather facetious.
So, all right. We're going to wrap things up here. Any last things you'd like to say, Brutal Brett?
I did it all for the nookie.
It's going my way. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. For Brutal Brett and myself, Metalhead Nelson, we are signing off. Go and search up Fun Never Ends podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, listen. Hit us up on Facebook and Instagram, Fun Never Ends podcast. Go to the website, funneverendspodcast.com, and hit us up. Drop us a line, and we'll catch you next time. For Brutal Brett and myself, Metalhead Nelson, this is Fun Never Ends podcast. We'll catch you next time. All right, bye.
Yeah.